So the month of June, I was basically without my truck, so I couldn't tow my trailer to where I needed to, which basically just pissed me off. So let's get into it. All right, so back, I think in May, I think May it was, somebody came across the lane, fell asleep and tagged my truck. So it caused some damage to the truck, nothing crazy, but it's a lease, I have to get it fixed. So I took it in the beginning, I believe either end of May or beginning of June. And so I had a rental car, but it means I couldn't actually tow my trailer where I needed to. I used my employee's truck every once in a while to tow what I needed to places, but at the same time I was without a truck, which was an extreme detriment to the June's month in my business. Absolutely, it pissed me off, made me so inefficient. I'm gonna talk to you a couple things. There's no way I could run this business, no way I could do this kind of business working out of the rental vehicles I had, the loaner as well. It's not possible. Like my sanity, I mean, I lost probably 2 to 3 business working days just trying to go back and forth to jobs, back and forth to the trailer, remembering where I put the trailer, just trying to get things because I'm obviously used to having the trailer on site. It's a rolling Home Depot, so I have small things that I don't even think about needing on job sites because I already have them. So it made me extremely inefficient. So let's go through it. Now, when I started this, I had a truck, so I didn't always have the trailer, obviously, and you may not as well, but it's to what I expected to actually have on a job site, to what actually was on the job site. There was so many things. Like I'd have to sit with my employee, AJ, and we had to go through the entire job when he's there, when I have to leave to go do something else, make sure he has everything he needs. If not, I've got to go get it and come back. And there was times where it was easier and honestly just cheaper to actually just go buy something and then come back to the job site with it, because it was it's ridiculous. So yeah, that's never, like, honestly, I'm gonna need a couple trucks here because in case one breaks down, I need a backup, because having my trailer is an absolute necessity for this business that I have. But I built the business around the trailer, so it makes sense, right? So a couple things. If you're working out of a smaller vehicle, you kind of build your business and build the scope of work around that vehicle, because you're not really equipped to haul large materials or tow big things, anything like that. So for me, I'll throw some pictures in here. You can see what I was working out of. You can get some stuff done, but it's not by any means that it doesn't look professional. A couple of my customers were frustrated because I just couldn't get what I needed to on the job site, or I couldn't get to the trailer what I needed to there. It is what it is. At the same time, it made me look a little unprofessional, but I mean, we got to roll with what life gives you, right? So, main thing was I was so pissed off, so mad as far as why I wasn't getting things taken care of. It started affecting me. Just having to take my employee's truck, doing something with it, giving extra costs, because I have to compensate him for using his vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. It wasn't nearly what I want. Now, as far as if you're looking into either getting a truck or trailer, van, that's always up to you what your scope of work is. I'd highly recommend, if you're going to be doing things with table saws, miter saws, if they're big tools, get a van. My pick would be the Transit T350. High roof, but I live in a spot where I don't need to go into parking garages, stuff like that, so they make smaller roofs. That would definitely be in the cards. Plus they make them with all-wheel drive, which in my area in Michigan's pretty much a must. That's why I went with the truck and trailer, because the truck you can have full-wheel drive. Trailer wise, obviously you got way more space than a van to store everything. You can basically leave it on the job site if you need to. Something happens, you can detach it and repair it, or truck like I did, detached it, left it at a job site. Truck went into repairs, and I could actually tow the trailer if I needed to certain areas, which I did. But not having the trailer on the job site made my June month so inefficient. It's ridiculous. But it is what it is, and a little bit of a lack of planning on my end. But at the same time, I underestimated how much I actually rely on the trailer itself. And then how much I dislike working out of a single vehicle, like just like a small SUV. I think they're smaller SUVs. It's not applicable. It's not even worth it. It's not. So, but if you're just a small business, small handyman, you only do certain things, absolutely make it work for yourself. Yeah, still frustrated about it actually. But at the same time, let's go over trailer. My trailer's 7x16. It's with the ladder rack. I will be upgrading the trailer eventually down the road, I'm sure. But for right now, that's what I have to work with itself. I pull it with an F-150. I would recommend either a van or a pickup truck at a minimum. At a minimum, you want to keep. You know, it's nice keeping your tools dry if it's raining out or snowing out. That's why a van or a trailer. And then you can put some tools inside of a truck, but you're limited. You have to bed on the truck. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of vehicles, like there's smaller vans out there. If you're in America, probably stay with a ProMaster or Transit. I know that Sprinter makes them. They're like Mercedes-Benz, but everybody I've been talking to, they're expensive for maintenance and they take forever to fix because of parts and stuff like that, availability for parts. So I would recommend Ford Transit and or ProMaster. ProMaster's front-wheel drive, not a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, so not nearly as good as in inclement weather for sure. And yes, I've driven both of them. The Transit for sure takes the cake for. I mean, but the ProMaster is cheaper. So if you're business sense, ProMaster is cheaper. It's got lower deck height because they don't need a rear axle. It's front-wheel drive. So keep that in mind. I would definitely recommend a van or a trailer because if you're looking to grow your business for sure. But you can get materials and you can get big tools delivered on site if you want to do that way. Just a little more logistics. But I completely am reliant on my business. I am completely reliant. It's very apparent. I'm completely reliant on that tool trailer. There's so many things that I have in there that I don't even need to think about that I can just, yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. Or I've got something that'll work that's in the trailer. And without it, I have to go find something, hour round trip to a hardware store to get something. Just eats up the day for sure. So that's pretty much what I got, you guys. Trailer, ProMaster, Transit. If you're into contracting and you're serious about it, I would probably highly recommend it. And at minimum, the truck with a ladder rack for sure. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.